In this film, we will be talking about the importance of green space and how communities can benefit from it because many communities today are faced with poor air quality due to the lack of green space. With these communities struggling to improve the air quality and not having the ability or power to create green spaces, they are left to face this issue on their own with almost nowhere to escape it. Green spaces allow people to experience good air quality no matter where they live, so adding multiple green spaces will give more people this opportunity. Throughout the film, you will also see interviews of those who can relate to this issue, have experienced this issue firsthand, and the opinion of an expert. They all give their opinions on what is wrong in their community to allow us to come up with a possible solution.
Have you noticed any differences in air quality in different areas of your community?
Yes. In my house, the air quality isn't that great, but as I step outside, it gets a little better, but its best point is probably near green spaces.
I'm a student at Washington Heights. My role in this topic is I come to school here in Washington Heights. I experience air quality here every day. So, yes, there's different areas where, since I live in the Bronx myself, where I live, it's more populated with green spaces, green areas, more trees and all that. And then when I come over to Washington Heights, I see less of what I see in the Bronx. I do notice a big change. It could get some improvement in the future, but for now I do notice some change.
My role or relationship to the topic of air pollution is that I live in a community in Washington Heights where the air pollution is not necessarily the greatest, and it could be improved on.
And have you noticed any differences in air quality in different areas of the community?
Yeah, definitely. There's different spots in the community where there's construction going on, or there's more traffic with cars, and so in these different areas you can tell there's really bad air quality. You start smelling different things, and it gets harder to breathe sometimes. But other than that, there's spots in parks and green spaces where you can tell the difference, where the air is cleaner.
What is your experience with air pollution?
Since my younger sibling has asthma, sometimes it's really hard for him to breathe in some specific time because of how bad the air quality is. With give him a machine so it could help him breathe.
Asthma rates in the city are bad enough already, and with the addition of people littering, construction sites in the middle of residential areas, busy roadways, and the lack of greenery, those who suffer from respiratory diseases like asthma suffer the most. The reason being is because of the bad air quality they withstand on a day-to-day basis.
Do you have any experiences with air pollution? For example, someone you know has asthma or something like that?
Yeah, I think asthma is very prevalent in just low-income areas, and that's not by coincidence. So, like I said, I've never noticed myself the poor air quality, probably because we're just surrounded by the same poor air quality, but definitely asthma. So my sister has asthma. My nephew was born with asthma. My nephew was born with pretty serious asthma, actually. As a baby, he was on a nebulizer, so he needed those treatments with the steroids in order, from him being a baby. So I would say those two are the most prominent people in my family who have problems with asthma. In my life, personally, in my life, I think just knowing each person has a responsibility to their space, and that responsibility is on multiple levels. Of course, the first thing is you don't contribute to the litter. You don't contribute to the problems of quality of life. The second part, which I think people tend to forget, is holding the people who have the power and are responsible for it accountable. Sometimes it's the neighborhood is dirty because the people are dirty. And I think that's untrue. I don't think groups of people are just naturally more dirty than other groups of people. But there are people who are responsible for maintaining that space for you. And so I'm trying to be more active in holding those people accountable and asking for those things, just asking for it.
As stated before, we can all do things as residents of the community by helping reduce all the trash that we have. We can recycle and try our best to keep our green spaces clean. Also, leading by example would be helpful to maintain our green spaces clean. As a community, we can spread awareness on the topic and make people realize that our health is at risk in our community. This way, people can be hesitant to do things like littering. Also stated in one of the interviews, we have to hold the people with power accountable for solving this problem. This way, the actual changes we need to make can be made.
The green space in Washington Heights needs to be maintained better in order to create a safer environment with better air quality. The needles we see in our community are a part of the trash problem in our green spaces. The people who need to be cleaning up our parks aren't doing a good job. Garbage in our parks creates an unsafe environment for people, and with the needles, it plays into the high asthma rates in the community. If we clean up our green spaces, we can kill two birds with one stone as we lower asthma rates with better air quality and reduce trash to create a safer environment for all.